kama bromelia, kala inabadilika, na maua mengine kama hibiscus. Uzuri wake na urembo wake uko kwenye majani.
Kiwango cha maji unacho. Kingine kikubwa, lile ua halipendi lipate maji. Ua kama ua lenyewe lile.
Tafanya nini mimi na huu mti?
Kizidishia maji ukaijaza na mbolea, itakachokifanya hautopata maua, itajaza majani, itastawi sana. Mageuzo sema sasa ingekuwa mchicha hii ningekula.
Join us on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. on your favorite channel, Capital TV.
In Capital News tonight, the government gives go-ahead for debate of LATRA bill in Parliament. Officers who registered the car used in the Dusit D2 attack in Nairobi captured. Yanga goalkeeper Kakolanya wants out of his contract. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. The government has given the go-ahead to the House that it can begin debating the bill for the law to form a Land Transport Regulatory Authority, LATRA, which will automatically do away with the law that formed Sumatra. The aim of LATRA is to increase the effectiveness and standard of land transport services. This go-ahead was given by the Minister of Infrastructure, Transport and Communications, Engineer Isaac Kamwelwe, where he added that under the proposed law, conditions have been put in place regarding the capital debts and employees that will be transferred from Sumatra to the new body. At the same time, the House has passed a 2018 bill for the law of formation of the Land Transport Regulatory Authority and the bill for Tanzania Meteorological Authority.
Put in place a legal system to control land travel so as to increase efficiency on services provided and to improve monitoring of quality on safety. There is a proposal to deal away with Sumatra Chapter 415. Decisions that affect people cannot be politically motivated. We must look at how the laws match which policies in place.
A lot
of accidents, at least 6 to 7%, is caused by motorcyclists not obeying the law. What I would like to know is if the law in place could force motorcyclists to obey the law.
17 days after fishermen on the coast of the Indian Ocean as well as on Mafia Island halted fishing activity for fear of being caught due to fishing using generators and solar, the government has intervened and permitted them to continue to do so.
Watu wanaotumia generator kwa sasa, watu wanaotumia solar kwa sasa.
As the Minister for Fishing, I would like to direct that all fishermen who use generators and solar power in their fishing activities should not be arrested for now. In addition, I have directed that those fishermen using generators and solar power in their activities should not be charged any fee for the time being.
Kwa kweli sisi tumefurahi kwa 100%.
I would like to say that on behalf of my fellow fishermen that we are all thrilled 100% because Minister Mpina has solved the majority of our pressing concerns. I would like to add here that even though there are a few concerns which Minister Mpina has not addressed, he has promised to solve the remaining concerns before the 6th month of this year. As a final comment, I would like to praise the government for choosing a minister who has shown such solidarity with I and my fellow fishermen in our time of need.
The Immigration Division in Rukwa region has caught 71 illegal immigrants who are alleged to be citizens of Burundi, the DRC and Zambia in an ongoing operation in Wapembe division near Lake Tanganyika.
7 suspects are claiming to be Tanzanian, so investigation is going on in this regard to ascertain if they are indeed Tanzanians. If not, strict legal measures will be taken against them. The remaining 50 illegal migrants will be taken to court so the court can give the ruling. If found guilty, they can serve up to 3 years in prison. I issue a stern warning to those pretending to be immigration agents who claim that no one can go directly to the immigration office without going through them first. We've identified them and will be... This operation is progressive. Like I said initially, this is just a beginning. We will inspect all villages. We are used to life here. Since I came to Tanzania, I've never gone back home. If I'm allowed, I will follow the right process.
Over 600 students are sitting on the floor when in classrooms. This is due to a lack of desks as well as a shortage of 28 classrooms in Nzoka Primary School at Nzoka Ward in Momba Ward, Songwe District, whereby the parents have asked the government to support some of the efforts being made by the citizens to cope with the challenge.
We need 412 desks, only 115 are available, 297 are lacking. The lack in desks has forced our students to sit on the floor. These classrooms behind were built by local residents, but roofing has not yet.
Mobile company Tigo has handed over 20 million shillings to Tigo Pesa agent Vicky Ibrahim after she won the Chifu wa Mawakala national competition after servicing the most number of clients nationally.
I did not believe that I'd won 20 million shillings. It's only that when I arrived here that I knew for sure I'd won. What I'm going to do is to invest the money because this has given me a big boost. 20 million has been won by the biggest winner all over the country. We'll also be having 20 more winners, 5 from each zone. Tigo has 4 business zones.
The commander of the National Road Safety Police, Fortunatus Muslim, has called upon residents to be in the forefront of providing information about any road traffic police officer who engages in acts of asking for bribes. Commander Fortunatus Muslim also promised that strong legal measures will be taken against such offending officers, and these measures include handing them over to law enforcement agencies as well as PCCB.
We shall apply serious disciplinary measures which include being removed from the police force and prosecuting them. All of us have reached an agreement that corruption will not be tolerated. Anyone involved in corruption during the course of carrying out his duty as a traffic police officer will not be safe. In cases where a driver has not committed an offense, yet he is punished, we've also agreed that we'll look into this and see that justice is served, and anyone who is treated unfairly must report the incident so perpetrators can face legal and disciplinary measures. Anyone caught accepting or asking for a bribe must be fired. There is no reason to defend such people because they are tarnishing our country's image.
The President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, has appointed Dr. Islam Saif Salum Mchenga as the new Director General of the Deep Sea Fishing Authority, DSFA. Information released by the Chief Secretary, Ambassador John Kijazi, explained that before his new appointment, Dr. Mchenga had been the Assistant Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Natural Resources, Livestock Keeping and Fisheries of Zanzibar. At the same time, President Magufuli has appointed Dr. Emmanuel Andrew Sweke as the new Deputy Director General of the Deep Sea Fishing Authority. And prior to his appointment, Dr. Sweke had been the Senior Fisheries Research Officer and the Deputy Director of Tanzania Fishing Research Institute, TAFIRI, in Kigoma. President Magufuli has also appointed Professor Sebastian W. Chenya Mbuga to be the chairman of the board of Tanzania Livestock Research Institute, TALIRI, and Professor Justinian Rezaula Ikingura as the new chairman of the board of the Geological Survey of Tanzania, GST. The committee that was formed by the government to investigate accusations of the killing of wild animals which are not allowed to venture into some plots of land in Longido District, Arusha region, has discovered that 25 giraffes have been killed during the last 2 years in various plots of land which are located in that district. While revealing the preliminary results of the investigation, the chairman of the committee, who also doubles as Arusha Regional Commissioner Mrisho Gambo, noted that the committee also uncovered involvement of some government officials in the killing of these giraffes.
Ni pia kwamba KDU kanda ya Arusha na ofisi ya afisa wa wanyamapori wilaya Longido.
The committee has also identified that KDU Arusha and Game Office in Longido are not performing their duties with due diligence in carrying out regular patrols. When poaching is reported to be taking place or where there are carcasses, Game Officer in Longido is blamed for not arriving at the scene on time, claiming that he has no transport. Yet, he was given a new vehicle in 2018. All suspects will be arrested and prosecuted accordingly. One area which has had a high number of cases on poaching is Green Miles. This is a big area with 3 wards. The investor in this area has not been cooperating with local villagers and has not been paying, which has increased poaching activities. Most of the suspects have run to Kenya, but we shall make sure that we arrest them on their arrival.
That's all for national news. International news is next. And in international news, 2 weeks after the terror attack at the Dusit D2 building at the Riverside area in Nairobi, defense organs have strengthened their search for those involved in the attack. To date, 12 people have been caught for their involvement in the attack that killed 21 people, and this includes officers who registered the car used in the attack.
The evidence by the prosecution and the submissions by learned counsels to offer defense on the respective counts they are charged with, other than the 5th accused person on the 156th count.
Uganda's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sam Kutesa, has for the first time appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Affairs and refuted reports by some media that the government has banned him from traveling outside of Kenya.
Let me tell you that the meeting of
this meeting was postponed last week because I was in Brussels. I am not in any kind of trouble which have to do with my job. The MT and managers from South Africa were deported because they were involved in activities that undermined national security. No country in the world will tolerate such incidents.
Malawi has handed over to Rwanda a suspect of genocide against the Tutsi, Vincent Murekezi, who was being sought by Rwandan courts for a very long time.
Our courts needed Murekezi to answer charges of Kimbari massacre. The traditional courts have already ruled his case, despite his absence. However, he has every right for pleading the case to be read again. As prison officers, we have taken him. What is left is check his health because he said he is sick. I would like to call on his relatives who are in the country to pay him a visit since his family is in Malawi.
The leader of the United Nations in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Leila Zerugui, has said that the United Nations will collaborate with the new government to ensure that they maintain peace and development after the Congo takes this new direction.
They came to DRC to help citizens without disturbing security. We have received information that there are rebel groups settling in South Kivu for the purpose of attacking Rwanda. We are working on this information with a challenge of FDLR soldiers, which we have asked them to surrender to the DRC government.
This week, Germany remembers 6 million Jews and many others who were murdered by Adolf Hitler's forces during the Nazi occupation of Europe in the Second World War. Sunday marked Holocaust Memorial Day, and on this day, in 1945, Soviet troops liberated thousands of prisoners at the Auschwitz concentration camp in Poland. Commemoration ceremonies are being held in Brussels today and on Thursday in Berlin. Since the end of World War II, there's been a very passionate debate in Germany about how best to remember the Holocaust. Joining me with more on this is our Deutsche Welle correspondent, Helena Humphrey. Helena, this is an extremely difficult subject. How is the Holocaust dealt with in Germany?
As you rightly point out, it is indeed a very sensitive hot topic here in Germany. That said, it's not a topic that is shied away from here anymore. It's spoken about very openly in the German education system in a bid to broach the topic of a genocide, essentially, and make sure that it never happens again. Holocaust Memorial Day has been marked officially here in Germany since 1996. Just to give you a few examples of some of the events that have taken place this year, we saw a German delegation travel to the Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp in neighbouring Poland, and there they laid wreaths and flowers along with survivors, prisoners from that concentration camp, at a wall, in fact, where people had sadly been shot to death. 1 million people killed at that wall, at that concentration camp alone. It is a critical moment, though, in terms of commemorating the Holocaust right now. Of course, many of the people who survived the Holocaust are elderly. They're passing away, and with them go those very important stories. Now, the German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas is keenly aware of that, and in an opinion editorial in Die Welt am Sonntag newspaper, he wrote that the remembrance culture is a culture that is crumbling here in Germany. He said that was amid pressure from the far right in the country, and he said that we had to find new ways to educate young people about what happened here in Germany, firstly to pay respect to the victims, but also, of course, to make sure that present-day lessons can be taken away for society from what happened in the 1930s and 40s here in Germany and across Europe.
So what about from the German leader, Angela Merkel? What has she had to say on this occasion?
Chancellor Angela Merkel said that there should be a zero-tolerance approach to xenophobia, to discrimination, to anti-Semitism, and she said that it was up to every individual living here in Germany to take that zero-tolerance approach. She also recognized that there has been an increase in anti-Semitism. She said that would not be tolerated, and it's worth noting as well that the German government just last year installed an anti-Semitism commissioner to look into hate crimes, to document them as well. But the Chancellor pointed out that we are facing a new frontier when it comes to anti-Semitism, that being the internet, social media, social networks, and the potential there for hate speech, very sadly, to flourish.
So what are some of the concrete proposals for further education about the Holocaust for Germany's younger people, like the younger generation?
Right, that's absolutely a thriving debate here. Many people are keen on the idea of having every young person attend an obligatory school trip to a concentration camp. Many people say that after they've seen some of those shocking images there, for example, of the photos of the piles of bodies, emaciated bodies that were killed there, it's very difficult to forget those images, and that feeling of nie wieder, never forget, comes back. And one of the reasons it's such a political debate, an important debate right now, I have to point out, is that Germany's third largest party, the Alternative for Germany, is a far-right party with some difficulties acknowledging the Holocaust. In fact, in 2018, the co-leader of that party, Alexander Gauland, said that the Holocaust was little more than, and it's the direct quote, a speck of bird excrement in Germany's glorious 1,000-year history. Some Alternative for Germany parliamentarians also walked out of a memorial for Holocaust victims in Bavarian Parliament this year as well. So a lot of work still needing to be done, but the debate continues certainly here in Germany about how best to remember and how to educate future generations about the Holocaust.
Thank you very much, Helena. This was a very tragic and it's a very important historical issue for Germany, and I hope that it is solutions in how it's remembered are found in a more united way. And that's all for international news. We'll be back with business after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand.
You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. Tanzania Development Bank, TADB, and Uyole Agricultural Research Institute in Mbeya region have entered into an agreement to develop agriculture, including measuring of soil health, so as to promote production of farmers' harvest, as well as to increase the income of small-scale farmers in the country.
Udongo huu unatakiwa uwe unatunzwa.
The soil needs to be maintained and improved to give assurance to farmers in their farming activities. We are here today together with Tanzania Agricultural Development Bank to officiate our relations.
Nafurahi kuwa
From the research done, we are taking this opportunity to take the knowledge obtained from the research and share it to farmers. There are so many research which have been done from different stakeholders that are just left in booklets in offices. With this cooperation, the information will be shared to the targeted group.
Sasa tunaenda kupeleka ile utafiti matokeo yake.
The Tanzanian industrial policies continue to be a draw for investors from various nations, whereby 7 companies from Saudi Arabian countries have come to Tanzania with the aim of looking for investment opportunities that are found in the country, especially in creation and production of chemicals used in factories.
They are interested to invest in areas which have investment opportunities, for example, industrial chemicals. This is a new opportunity from the industrial sector.
Some farmers on the island of Pemba have said that lack of trust by financial institutions when it comes to providing loans to farmers, as well as a lack of capital, are among the reasons that many farmers engaged in farming as they are used to leading to poor yields.
I used to farm by using techniques that my parents taught me. With the trainings that I received, I believe modern techniques will be applied in my farming activities. I started farming rice. When I saw there are no benefits, I shifted into farming vegetables. When I used to farm rice, I never had knowledge on proper procedures of farming the crop. My call to the government of Zanzibar right now is to provide us with loans and train us on modern farming so that we can succeed in our farms. Here, training farmers on how to use good seeds and use minimal water so that they can increase their income in Vikoba groups.
That's all for business news. Sports is next.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Sean Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip, hop, a hip, the hip, hip, hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette
with Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And on to sports. The Young Africans Football Club management says they've received a letter from their goalkeeper Beno Kakolanya's lawyer requesting to nullify the contract.
Yesterday we received this letter from his lawyers saying their client have received all his salary, but they insist that they still wish to stop the contract. We received the letter yesterday. We've not met with our lawyers, and after they go through it, we'll give the reply.
Yanga's Mwinyi Zahera and Harriet Makambo have won the December Coach and Man of the Month in the Premier League after leading Jangwani Boys to back-to-back wins.
We thank those who select winners of this prize. I thank the players because they bring good results. They work hard. We as teachers just show them how they can be productive, but in my opinion, it is the players themselves who are doing the work for I to win.
Paris Saint-Germain forward Neymar will be out for 10 weeks with a broken metatarsal, which means he will miss both legs of the club's Champions League tie against Manchester United.
Brazil forward suffered the injury in a 2-0 French Cup victory over Strasbourg on Wednesday, 23rd of January. The French champions say they have opted for a conservative treatment. PSG travelled to Old Trafford for the first leg of the last 16 tie on 12th of February, with the return on 6th of March. In a statement, the Ligue 1 side said Paris Saint-Germain gathered together a group of world-renowned medical experts at the Oridour Training Center to carry out a thorough review of the injury to Neymar Jr.'s right foot.
Capitaltvtz scored twice on his first start as AC Milan beat Napoli to reach the Coppa Italia semi-finals.
Piatek, who joined from Genoa for £30 million last week, calmly struck home the opener on 10 minutes. The Poland international then called home his second from just inside the area to make it 2-0 before half-time. Milan will face the winner of Wednesday's game between Inter and Lazio in the last four. It was an impressive start to his Milan career for Piatek, who was brought in after top scorer Gonzalo Higuain left to join Chelsea on loan from parent club Juventus.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin this evening, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and have a good night.